Hey everyone, hey, this is Tony here at our cabin in the woods, and today I'm going to go step back a little bit and I want to talk about food. One of my favorite channels. Yesterday I seen they did a video on putting your food up, which is Ventures of Frankentina, and they are actually doing it because from what they said, because I seen my videos that I did a couple months ago, and which I'm glad they did. They've got kids, they've got them, you got to put food up, you got to be safe. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate the spot on that. I do appreciate it. Now, I am not a pro, I already said that, I'm not a pro at doing this, but I've just watched other channels. I've been doing it for a long time, so I understand a lot of stuff. I consider my food storage, I have a short term, and then we have long term. How do you categorize that stuff? Well, you know, when you can foods, your vegetables, those can be a real long term. You know, they say some can only last 5 years or whatever, 10. I've actually opened something up that was given to us that was almost 20 years old, that was given to my wife through her grandmother, with some jelly she made. We opened it, it was perfect, nothing wrong with it. But of course, you got to store that stuff in a normal cool area, or you know, your home cabinets. Cooler the better, where it's AC, it's not extremely hot. You know, the cooler the better, and all that stuff where you store stuff. So you're canning your vegetables and all that can be a very long-term thing, or you can make it a semi-long and short-term and keep growing every year and just replace it so you can survive off it during the wintertime. I like to be able to survive off it during the wintertime. You know, and of course you come winter, some summer you're eating off it too, but I want to put some stuff back for even longer periods. So I consider pretty much stuff that I put back short term. The last video I did was I had rice and beans. You can put back wheat if you want to. You can put back flour if you want to. Just a lot. You can put back sugar. You can put back salt. All that stuff. One big thing, salt. Put a lot of salt back, and I'm talking pounds. I think they were talking one person, I just seen this too not long ago. I think one person, if they like salt, can use a pound of salt a year. That's crazy. I don't like a lot of salt, but when you have food like rice and you throw in something in it, I guess you want a little taste to it, and so you can have some salt. So salt is a big thing that you want to put back in the half. But also, back to what I was talking about a minute ago, the rices and beans and all that stuff, the video I did, I actually did 1 pound packages, and I vacuum sealed them. And so when we need them, all I need to do is find a vacuum, one of our bags we've got. I pull it out, all our stuff is packed in 1 pound packages. Pull them all out, cook that one thing of rice. We can reach up and grab it, not open up a big 30-pound bag of rice, and then it just sits there and the insects and everything else can get in it. 1 pound packages, that's all we need. Her and I think it was like another person, can have enough rice for that to survive on. I consider that short term, even though rice and beans and some of that stuff can last a long time. I mean, it can go, for 5 years, sometimes even more if you keep it in a dark area. It can go even longer than that. So, but where I'm going back with my short term and long term. Short term, you need a plan. I have a notepad, and I always write down what we eat, what we have. And the pad is our daily, what we do. Another quick thing, I want to back up real fast. You need to figure out the calories that you eat now, so you can put back food the calories you eat now. Now, yeah, I'm overweight. I'm way overweight. You need to figure out your calories, what you're going to eat. I'm thinking it was like for a male adult, because he's moving all the time. When something happens, you still got to keep on going. You got to have food to eat. So you need to think. I think male was like 2,500 calories per person, I believe. I could be off. It's been a while since I've looked at that, but I know I'm close. You know, my wife, she's a small little girl. She probably don't eat that much. I mean, you know, she probably still will need 1,800, maybe 2,000. I'm not sure. But you need to figure that out. Look that up and see what it says. And you got to understand that. Now, if you have little kids in your home, yes, they are little kids now. But 5 years from now, they're bigger kids. then you've got teenagers. So you need to figure out your food strategy for long term. Short term, 5 years, whatever, you can vacuum pack, put stuff up, your shelves, your canning foods, all that stuff, you've got it, it's there. You can figure out how to put some calories together. Long term, you can do another thing. Over here, I have got a 5-gallon pail. This is a food grade bucket, food grade emblem. Only use food grade buckets to store foods. If you don't, the chemicals that they use to make the colors and to make the buckets become a gassy fume that's inside if it's sealed up. And that will get into your food and contaminate and be poisonous to you. So, food grade buckets. Now, you can get the food grade bucket. I actually got this at Lowe's. They have them there. Alright, so they come in 2 ways, the lids. You can get the food grade bucket with a pop lid you push on. I think the pop lids were like, and I'm not sure, I'm just going to say $2. Just say 2. Or you can get the Gamma screw-on lid. Hard to see right there, but it says Gamma lid. What this is, yes, this lid is just like the other lid. It pops on, boom, boom, it snaps on, it locks. You're not taking this back off, but this lid unscrews. There it is. It is a threaded screw. Big cap. When I'm done picking out what I want, screw that back up, screw it tight, it's airtight. Nothing gets in there. We're not having to mess with those lids that are very hard to pop off and then bang them back on. It stinks. They hurt your hands too. Alright, now, you can buy these pails right here. Food grade pails full of food. Several places, just look up, I should have been ready. I'll try to look them up and I'll put them on the description. Different places you can buy your foods. And I know them all, and I'm just a bad brain for forgetting everything these days. But you can buy. But you can buy food grade buckets. The food grade buckets you buy you figure out how you want them. I believe you can do a bucket just for breakfasts, and then another bucket for lunches, or another bucket for dinners, or you can buy buckets that will be completely full for one person for 1 month. My bucket. It'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinners. But we work on calories that I need to survive. That's what this would be. My bucket, you need a bucket for each person for 1 month. That's how that works. And they will become sealed already. I believe they have their own seal lid system. But here's another thing. You can buy your calories. You can buy these buckets and do your own packing. That's what we've done here. We've done our own. You can buy from. But you got to look and see what's in those buckets. Some of them are just junk. There'll be a lot of salt. We don't need a lot of sodium when something's going on. You want to have a lot of calories. Another thing you got to think about is fat. You have to have fat in your system. Have to have it. A lot of people put up deer meat, elk meat, fish, all this stuff. They have this stuff that gets canned, or you put them in a pressure canner. That's good, but you also got to have fat. So if you're doing your own butchering, you're going to want to save all your own fats. You can take all your fat from a pig, and you can heat it up and bring it down to a thick lard, and you can do that for a lot of different type of animals. Every animal out there, you can get their fat rendering to put into your food. You got to have fat in your system. You can't be without it. So back to short term is these bags, vacuum pack bags. You can put them up, you're done. Long term, let's go to long term now. Long term, silver bag. This is called Mylar. Mylar bag. This one actually is a quart size bag. They have them where they're half that's pint. They got them where this right here was a 6-gallon. Inside here I have Mylar. I'll show you in a second. 6-gallon Mylar bag. I bet you they've got to be bigger. But also, when you have your Mylar protects in the long term. You're able to suck all the oxygen out of the bag, like you do with vacuum pack, but it preserves it even better and longer. This is long-term storage. Each Mylar bag, when you're done putting your food in there, these are called oxygen absorbers. These are just the ones I've got. This here is 100 cc Mylar bag. These are about the size of a sugar bag. That's what these are. They have them smaller. They're at 50 cc's. I got the 100. This pack here is 2,000 cc's. Right now in here, there's probably 3 more packets. Yeah, 3 more packets in here. When you do a 1 quart, and I think you can go a little bit bigger, you can go up to like a 14 by 14 size Mylar bag. All you need is 1 packet, and you need to look it up, make sure, but it ranges between 50 and 100 cc, so you just use 1 packet, 1 of these packets. You put it in your bag, you're going to get as much air out as you can, and how these work is you use an iron. You can use another thing, a hair straightener, women's hair straightener. So you need to have 2 people holding it. You can do it yourself. I've done all mine myself. And then you just take the hair straightener, you put it on there, and you're just going to drag it across. Of course, when I get real close to the end, I try to push the air out as much as I can, and then I continue to drag it. Now, yes, is there going to be air in there? It sure will be. But that oxygen absorber you put in there, that bag will actually start to do this. Will crumple all up. I'll show you here what I've got. This is a 5-gallon pail. This here I have in here is Willow's dog food. This is dog food that Willow's not eating now. She's on more of a high protein, trying to put some more meat on her bones. So any dog food that has that has meat product in it, you know, you can squeeze it. It would be you know, any red meats or chickens and turkeys and fishes and all that. You don't want to do this real long term because that stuff spoils quick. This is just a regular hard dog food. This is food that she was eating, but we changed this other for right now to get her going, get her, you know, make her get more fat on her body. So what's in here is we didn't want to throw the food away. I put this is a 5-gallon pail. I put a 6-gallon Mylar bag, which was one of these, empty, and then I opened it up and I poured in her dog food. All right, you can see that is all crunched up now. Once you get what you're supposed to try to do is get as much food in that bag as you can, get as much of the air out of it as you can. And this bag here, you really need to have 2 people. I had to have my wife help me with this because the 6-gallon deal, I mean, your Mylar bag is as wide as your can, or if not a little bit wider. And it's so hard to be able to drag and hold. And you're not leaving your hair straightener on it long. You can use your iron that you iron clothes with on it also. And just lay, as an example here, just lay it down on here and just drag your iron right across it. You don't want to leave it on there long. You're just heating it up and it's sealed just like the outer edges of this bag is. You cannot pull apart without tearing it. So, you're going to put your food in here. I did leave out this. Before you heat it up and use a hair straightener, you're going to put whatever cc oxygen absorber tells you to put in this pail. I believe this pail for dog food was 3,000 cc's. I didn't have that. I had 1,000 bag or 2,000 cc bags. So I ended up putting 2. That's 4,000 cc's I put in here to suck that down real good. It's so loose in here, it sucked it up, that this bag actually moves inside the bucket. I mean, I could probably almost pull this bag out right now. It's in there loosely. So, this is now sealed long term. It's dog food. So later on, if something bad happened, I need her dog food. All I need to do is unscrew this lid, take a cup, get a cup of dog food out, and I can tie this back up again. And I don't have to worry about unsnapping those buckets. It's a pain in the you-know-whoosies. Anyway, that's that. Mylar bags. You can do the same thing. You want to think of real long term, you can do rice and stuff in here too. You can do vegetables in these things. Just about anything you can think of, you can Mylar. You can look it up. You can see how many cc's it tells you. It'll tell you by using Mylar bags. You can see how long food can survive in them. So it's just something else to help preserve. Always think of long-term, short-term to get you through. To me, short-term, it's just short-term. Then you got your long-term stuff. Short-term, I like to use it as I can rotate our foods. Just rotate our foods out. A good example, what we did, we built this home. My wife and I, we lived in a camper right beside the house where it sits now. Well, not where the camper sits, but where the house is, right over here. 9 months. We lived off 9 months of our food that we put up. I'm not kidding. We went to the store for toiletries. That's it. Oh yeah, and alcohol beverages. You got to have them. Anyway, and you can store that too. Whiskey, moonshine, put that back. It's great barter stuff also, whiskey. You have a bottle of whiskey and you need something, I guarantee you probably make a good trade with somebody because they like to have that whiskey. Even if you don't drink, it's good to have because, like I said, it's a barter. You may have guns. You need ammunition. You ran out. Here's my bottle of whiskey. Can I have some of that ammunition? Perfect trade. Didn't cost you nothing. Now you got ammo to protect your wife and your kids, or your husband and your kids. But so there's a lot of things you can work with when you're doing long-term and short-term. To me, your short-term works good with your livestock, works good with your garden you're growing. You're getting eggs. You're producing your own livestock. That works good with your garden. Say your garden failed that 1 year, it didn't do good, and you need food. If things are bad, you're not going to be able to buy it. But now, hey, yeah, I've got short-term food in the closet or in the bunker or wherever. That fills your space if the garden didn't do good, or if your garden got started late, or something happened, or your livestock went out, something happened. Now you've got this stuff to work with that you're short-term, but you've got your long-term. Things got real bad, you can barter your long-term if you really want to. I would never barter long-term. That long-term's there for me. Like I said, it's only 1 month, but still, I wouldn't do it. No bartering that. To me, it would be whiskeys, moonshines, drinks. It's excellent. Believe it or not, cigarettes, all that stuff also are very good. But you're giving up something. When you barter some stuff, you're giving up, hey, I've got all this stuff in my house for barter, and now you become a target. So you got to be careful when you do this. Bartering is good, very good, but you got to be careful. I got a notepad of stuff here I want to talk about real fast. We talked about the short-term, long-term. You can figure out what you want to put up as far as long-term go. Short-term, I've always used these vacuum pack bags. Our meats that we get from the animals we have outside, right now our freezer outside is vacuum packed all of our chickens. Chickens are vacuum packed, all that. We got pigs coming up. That will be the guy that does the pigs for us, slaughters them. He puts them in vacuum packed bags already for me. The bacon doesn't come very good sealed. I don't know why, but I redo them on ours. We'd had meats for a year and a half in the refrigerator. They were exact same. They didn't change. A year and a half. We had 2 pigs like we're going to get this time. Got a lot of meat you can save up. The other thing you can do now, here you go. You want to do long-term? You can do long-term meats also. But you cannot use a water bath canner. You must use a pressure canner. There's 3 different type, I think there's 3 different type canners out there. The water bath, we just set the jar in there and the water boils, and you put it in there for 20 minutes or 40 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever it may be. Then you got the pressure canner. The pressure canner builds up a lot of pressure. And then once you get that thing steaming, and a steady steam, you put this little weight on there, and once that weight starts rattling around, then it's you time it. Some of those meats may have to be on that canner for a half an hour or an hour. You've got to do that. You cannot do canning meats in a water bath. That's a no. It will be no good. Can't do it. So pressure canner, they're expensive. You got to watch videos to understand that, to understand pressure canning, how this all works. A lot of videos out there. So I'm not a pro at it, but that's where I'm getting my information. And I've done pretty good with canning. Our canning has been really good. Another thing to think about, where am I going to put my stuff? Do you have a basement? If you have a basement, you ever think about making that a cold room? cold room, you can store a lot of good stuff for a long time in a cold room. Cold room in a basement, all you need to do is maybe put it in the corner basement, so you get 2 basement walls, and build 2 interior walls, insulate the walls, and then, you know, the regular window AC units. If you have a window that goes outside from your basement, you can put an AC unit in that window, and what you're going to do is, I believe you disengage that thermostat wire, and you're going to install this little electrical box. It's called CoolBot, C-O-O-L-B-O-T. There's actually a couple, I think there's another brand out there too. There's probably several of them, I haven't looked. And it's digital. And you can drive that AC unit that you had, a little window unit, you can drive cold enough to make your cold room, depending where you're at, you know, above 30 degrees to 45 degrees. That's a room that you don't need a big walk-in freezer, and you're saving a lot of money on electric. If you don't have a basement, what can I do on? Maybe off the back of your house. You can have a door, you know, cut a hole, put a door in there, and put a small room. How big's it got to be? Your choice. To me, a cold room be the size of a bathroom. They're 5 foot wide, and you can make them maybe 10 or 12 foot long. And the reason is that way you've got shelves on both sides that you can have the window unit straight ahead. And that way you can walk in and pick out what you want on both sides of your room. I see people, guys, and I forgot what kind of meat they call us, but they'll hang a quarter leg on a hook in their cold room. Lumnah Acres Homestead, or Lumnah Acres Homestead, I think is what it's called. That channel, he put a cold room in, and he does their own slaughtering. They've got pigs. Excellent channel, big channel, super cool channel. He has a cold room, and he takes, I think, it's a quarter of that hind leg, and he hangs it, and he calls it. He makes something out of it. It just sits there and dries up, whatever it does. It cures, that's what I should say. I like to be able to do that. I don't have a cold room, though. I have my storm shelter that I use, but I can't put an AC unit to that because I'm underground. I'm 15 feet from any opening to be able to put an AC unit. Do I want to put a cold room off the back of my house? I got a log home. I don't want to do that. Now, you can also go ahead and make a small outdoor shed. No doubt about it, you sure can. My advice, if you're doing that, you're putting that shed in a shady spot, you're going to be 100% spray foaming that shed. Complete spray foam. Spray foam seals airtight, and then you're going to end up putting either drywall or put wood on the inside, cover it over. Rolled insulation, you can use it, but I guarantee you're going to notice a big difference with spray foam. You can spray foam it, put a window unit in it, put that CoolBot in there. You can make that your cool room off your home if you wanted to do that. But once again, it becomes vulnerable to maybe somebody, if times are tough, come and steal stuff out of your house. But it's a thought to think. Some people could put a small room off the back of the home. Or maybe they have, off the back of the house, they've got a screen room. All right, take 10 foot away from that screen room. Make it a cold room. There's options everywhere. Just think about it. There's options everywhere to make a cold room. There's videos on how to do that. Actually, Lumnah Acres also has a video on how he did the cold room in his home that he built. Back to my pad, so I don't forget, and I'm getting long-winded here. Vacuum sealing, meat canning, canning your vegetables that you get in your garden, how to can them, how to vacuum pack them, how to put them in your freezer, long-term, short-term. You know, I've got snap peas, I've got beans that need to come out of the garden. I'm going to go ahead and probably, I'm undecided if I'm going to can them, but I think I'm going to do is dry pack them, put them in here. You can either blanch them when you put them in here, the beans and peas. You know, I'm not going to go into all that. You guys, I'm going to even check on myself. I've seen people put your vegetables in dry, or they blanch them and pack them. There's pros and cons about it, so we'll just see. But anyway, that's each thing you want to do, look up information about it. And there's so many people telling you different ways. But just kind of see what people use that are high subscribers, that does a lot of stuff. They're very good information. We talked about calories, the food bucket we talked about. I think we talked about everything that's in here that I want to talk about. Just Always think about your calories that you want to do, what you want to have. I know a lot of people, we have them. It's there. It's in that pantry. If you look at it though, I call them Roman numerals. My wife laughs at me. You know what I'm talking about, those little soup things. But if you look at them, flip them over. They're not a lot of calorie content, huge amount of sodium, but let's just say that you had beef or you had some chicken put aside somewhere, chunks. Like us, when we do our chickens, a lot of our chickens, we get cleaned up as best we can, but there's always some small pieces. We probably have 5 bags for soups. They're out in the freezer right now. Or I could have canned them. What I'm going to start doing is when I have those small little chunks again, I'm going to start saving them because we have, like I said, the Roman numeral soups. You know what I mean? Anyway, why not cook up your chicken and then put that in there? Now you've got your protein. It just gives you that added boost to add stuff to that to help you out. So always write stuff down. Write it down, those soups, good temporary, but what you need to add something else with that. You got to have it. You're not going to survive just on that alone. You got to think what you can add to it. It's good temporary thought. Very good. So anyway, I think I've covered everything here. I'm going to try to list everything I talked about. In fact, because I'll forget, I'm going to start making a list right now. Note to self. And I'm going to try to put some of this information. I'm going to try to put the food grade buckets to different ones. There may be more out there that I'm going to put the major ones that I know of, that I see. Another channel to watch. He's very, very big into prepping. Super guy. Prepper Nurse 1. Repeat that. Prepper Nurse 1. He has maybe 78,000 followers. That man lives 100% off grid. And all solar. His well system is done by natural spring that trickles water in. He's off grid. He lives a good life. He drives motorcycles. He has a new car. He has his own greenhouse he just did. He's moving his family on the properties. So what's it called? SHT, whatever it is, it hits the fan. Their families all know, hey, we need to get out to Ed, is his name. Ed's home. They got their own little small barns they built for their families. Friends, they think mine the same up there. We do too here. All the homes in here, we all think the same. All of us do. We communicate. We all know. We're all here together, but we live in homes. His home's a home, but it's just a small shed home. That's all he needs. I think his is a 16 by 40 or 18 by 40. That's all he needs, and that's plenty of room. You got to watch his channel. Prepper Nurse 1. Super guy Ed. And he knows me. We've communicated several times. So anyway, guys, long-winded again. Do your research on everything. Write everything down on a paper. Everything. Proteins, your wheats, your sugars, your everything. Store salt. I don't think I've said that yet. Salt's very important. You need to have salt, but it also makes things that taste terrible taste good. There's prepping lists that you can pull up to look at. There's books that you can get that you can see what you need to do. If I can think of any other channels that does that, but Prepper Nurse I follow. He's live 3 days a week. He's live Sunday night, Wednesday night, and Friday nights. And then during the week, I think he even does a video every day on his homestead, what he's doing, what's going on, what he's building, everything. Super cool guy, very friendly, and helps everybody out around him completely. He's an ex-nurse. I believe he's even I think he's a vet also, I believe he is. And but anyway, check his channel out, big time. Huge knowledge, huge channel, a lot of very good information. I've learned a lot of stuff through him also. So anyway, Guys, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. I hope I helped you out some. I hope this wasn't wearing you all out long-term talking. And but I just think this information needs to go out so people can do more looking. You know, you may have just gotten a little piece of what I'm talking about, but now you can go look Mylar, mylarpro.com. I'll put that in the description. That's where you can get these bags. You can get the oxygen absorbers. You can buy, when you buy these packets, the small ones, remember you may be packing small stuff. Buy a lot. You pull them out. When you're done, as soon as you're done putting these in a bag, and I'm not talking putting in the bag and then sealing the bag. I'm talking when you're done pulling out your Mylar bags, vacuum pack this bag back up again. There's little eyes in there. This little eye is a tells you if these bags are good. They should be pink. If they're purple, they're bad. Both these are pink, and I've had these bags for 8 years. It's been 8 years since I've had them. They're still good because I keep them vacuumed up. I keep them in dark spots also. They're in the closets. So, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks again. I hope this wasn't weird or whatever. I just want this to be very informational to everybody. So everybody has some information on it. How to do things. I don't know if I'm doing it properly, some stuff. And I know somebody will comment and tell me, hey, you need to do something different. That's how we all learn, by listening to see what someone else says, how they're doing something different. Or they may say, hey, go check this channel out. They do this also. You know, learn from him. Check out those cold rooms. Once again, I'm going to put them on the description. I know there was another channel that did it also, and I can't remember their channel. They're very big. I believe they've got 300,000 subscribers. And I just don't have time to watch his. He puts out maybe 2 times videos a day. I don't have time to keep up. I'll try to do all that. In the description is going to be big, so look at the description. And this video is probably going to take me, I bet you, a week to put out the amount of stuff I got to do. So I'm really, it's like 9:30 and I haven't been outside yet because I've been writing this stuff down. This stuff takes time. You know, doing a video, prepping. It's a 3rd take I did it, and I'm still not happy the way it is, but it's going to have to work. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Be safe. And I'm going to start saying, keep your eyes wide open. That way you keep an eye on everything around you, what's happening. Times are different. We don't know what's going to happen. Eyes wide open. Protect yourself and just get ready for whatever may happen. You know, if it doesn't, at least you've got something sitting there. You know, you can always say, I'm prepared. And if something does happen, you can sit there smiling. If you're not, you can wonder what am I going to do to get food if you didn't prepare. Y'all have a great day. Great night. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Enjoy everything. Peace out. See you later. Bye.